Welcome back, everyone. Next up, we have Wes Harris, the Director of Innovations for Reviv3 Procare and founder of AXIL and Associated Brands, a wholly owned subsidiary of Reviv3 Procare, trading on the OTCQB under the symbol RVIV. AXIL designs and manufactures specialized systems in hearing enhancement, hearing protection, wireless audio, and communication. Welcome, Wes. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you doing today?
Great. We're excited to hear about your company. So the floor is yours whenever you're ready.
Okay. We're excited to share it. I appreciate you giving us the time today. Just to start off with, we're super excited to share the story of AXIL and what we're doing and where we're headed as a company. Earlier this year, we were acquired. Essentially, all assets, asset purchase transaction was done by Reviv3 Procare Company, which is why you see a different ticker symbol of RVIV on the AXIL, along with the AXIL story. But AXIL is now a major contributor to the financials of Procare 3. And so we're excited to get here and start sharing the story with you of where we've been, where we're at, where we're headed. Of course, we want to bring attention to the forward-looking statements. Most of what we'll be talking about today will be things that we believe or expect to see in the future, and forward-looking statements is what we'll be talking to today. So to jump into it, give you a very high level of where we're at and what we're going towards. Our mission with AXIL really is to focus in and become the world leader in all-in-one technologies for hearing performance and hearing protection and audio. There's such a unique opportunity there, as you're going to see, that we're very well positioned. We really believe that we're very well positioned to step in and innovate and create a lot of market value and drive a lot of momentum and help a lot of audiences and crowds in this area by doing things differently and revising technology and innovations to really take it a lot farther in a more exciting way than what traditionally has been done up till now. So that's what we're all about. This is the space that we work in. Everybody's pretty well familiar with all the realm of audio and hearing and so on, but when you see this market share of what's out there, it's pretty staggering opportunity that we can go after, from all things hearing and audio related to address markets and audiences again in a very unique way to help people with hearing protection, audio, being able to streamline technologies all into one and really reach into these different market shares these different markets of headphones, earbuds, hearing aids, headphones, and really streamline that technology. You can see the numbers here are pretty worthwhile market share. Estimates across the board really are these spaces grow by 20 to 25% over the next 5 years between 2022 and 2025. And that doesn't really include some of the unique opportunities that we're seeing in the world around us, especially here in the US, but really a lot of opportunities all around the world for markets and audiences that need this opportunity. So this is what we're focused on and where we're headed. The things that we've run into that make this exciting space for us to play in is so many of the things that we run into are very generic solutions. It's very generic foam, like little foam earplugs, cheap, outdated, old earmuffs, very generic earbuds. There's just a lot of generic and kind of lowest level of technology options out there. And technology is really at this breaking point right now where it can really go into a very revolutionary space and create a lot of really new, unique innovations, technologies to really drive that technology for various lifestyles, for more outdoor, active, aggressive, demanding lifestyles that really need that service and innovation for their ears. So one of the things that you'll see next is in this space, people really have to have like many different products to accomplish what they need for their ears. Like they have to have, somebody may have to have hearing aids, and then they have to have headphones, and then earbuds, and all these different things, instead of being able to go in there and simplify that with more streamlined technology, which I'll show here in just a second. So these are two pretty big opportunities for us to really go in and leverage heavily off of our expertise and our experience from where we've been in the hearing and hearing protection space to take this a lot farther. Four of the main areas that we focus on, not all, we have more that branch into hearing and hearing protection and the realm of hearing and audio. But earbuds, headphones, earplugs, those are all very similar. Those three are all very similar on the products that we see out there, that a lot of it's very low-level technology. It's very outdated old designs. It's just has more of a cheap feel and functionality and lower levels of application and technology to it. And so we're really pushing the envelope right now to drive that to a whole new level and deliver a much better consumer experience for people to be able to pick what they want and tie it all together in a more valuable way to them and the lifestyles that they get into. On hearing aids, this is something I'm passionate about because I've been in the hearing aid space for a long time as well, owned as many as 60 hearing aid clinics. And it's just the way that message gets communicated to people who need hearing is just very outdated on brand, on design, on innovation. It's really marketed to old people, and all of my customers and clientele over 2 decades. None of us really want to feel old or at that point in life. And so going after it and testing and proving out many different ways to speak more favorably, more complimentary to people, and innovate in a way that really matches what they're after is a really big deal and a really big opportunity for us to continue to leverage off of a whole new way of helping people with their hearing. Then there's outdoor speakers and high-end specialized audio systems and all kinds of things that we could talk about as far as things that we can move into as we go down the road. So plenty of opportunity for us to grow AXIL to a pretty substantial level and take it pretty far through proper brand story, innovation, really creating tremendous market share value for the end consumer and user of this technology. And we're pretty fortunate to have a really strong innovation team between us in AXIL, as well as very bright, brilliant, intelligent partners that we have all around the world. And so we're very excited to continue to bring new innovations to different audiences and specialize in that better. We get this question a lot, why is AXIL different? How is AXIL different? What are we doing that other people aren't doing? I'll start on the legacy part of this. I come from a family background and family legacy of over 65 years in helping people hear better through high-end hearing aid clinics, as well as being very active in the outdoors. Done a lot of motorcycling, shooting, hunting, explosive and mining operations, at very young ages, and just being out there in a lot of kind of crazy loud applications at the same time that my father and family was really ingrained in the hearing aid space and helping people hear better. And so I've grown up my whole life, from as long as I can remember, just having all of those loud outdoor activities going on, as well as helping people with their hearing. And so for me, coming into the hearing aid world, at a young age, about 30 years ago in my early 20s, and following into the family business on it, it was very natural for me to want to take it a lot farther and just go a lot farther. And in that time frame, we've really been able to connect with some of the best methods of manufacturing, as well as connecting with some of the best contract manufacturers out there as well to really help us, do exactly what we want to do on this. So passion on it. One of the number one things that I've seen in this space is when we go out, people ask us, well, how does your competitor stack up? And while we have a lot of good competitors out there, the thing that I found in business for almost 30 years of being in business is that difference between, the top 3% of businesses out there and the other 97% really comes down to that passion and how much a company cares about their consumer. And that top 3% always comes down to whoever cares the most about their consumer and is willing to go that extra distance for them to really innovate and research and study out and get into the mind and the life of that consumer to really find out what it is that they need. I and my team are, as mentioned, very active in the audiences that we market in and that we will market in and that we will go after. And so having that passion of we're creating products for ourselves that we ourselves desperately want, that we don't find out there in the market around us. And so we have to go out there and create that. At the same time, really getting to know our customer more in depth and more on a very personal level. I myself have fit over 30,000 clients one-on-one with hearing aid needs. We fit well over 1 million people with hearing protection at this stage of the game, and that's counting, going up in count every day. And we just keep a really tight handle on what we want and what our customer wants, and we really bring that together in that passion and innovation, with a long history of expertise in this space. So going into it a little bit further, innovation, technology, as we get into it, we're really looking at those lifestyle applications according to the different product that it is and saying, how can we bring the best features, the best technology, which looks simple on a screen like this, but actually going in there and having to create that technology from scratch to do it the way that we want is really a pretty big deal. And that's where really the magic comes in, is to pull those different systems in and hybrid those in together and make them work right, for the customer for what they need. So that's all a really big deal. You see a few of the features that we put into technology right now, and we have a pretty substantial list of additional features that we'll continue to innovate and develop that technology and bring it in so that the consumer can really have just really have more features at their fingertips, at the touch of a button or just tapping on a device to get it to activate and do what it needs to do for them, so that they can have a whole lot less pairs of earbuds and headphones and whatever around them and get a lot better experience out of it. So coming back around to it, how can we deliver more value for less money? This is pretty core to our philosophy and pretty core to our passion. We don't go out ever and take somebody else's product or somebody else's innovation and stamp our name on it and go throw it out to the market. Like, that's not what we do. It's not what we're all about. We really go in and we take everything from our experience of sitting with tens of thousands and as a group, even hundreds of thousands of customers, one-on-one, listening to what they're talking about, seeing from our own knowledge of how to do things better, and then really going back in and innovating every product really from scratch and developing that out and taking a little longer time and developing exactly the way that we want, so that we can end up with that customer experience the way that we want to. The other side that's a really big deal is to me personally is, at a very early age, I decided to go out and learn all the manufacturing, and have been a FDA hearing aid manufacturer of medical hearing devices for over 25 years. I've controlled and run all of the manufacturing over our high-end medical hearing devices for that same period of time, producing quality that far surpassed many of the large manufacturers that we competed against with in the hearing aid world. And then really being able to learn and master and control that manufacturing largely here in the US, but then really getting out and traveling the globe and building out our network between the US and the rest of the world with very key contract manufacturers to help us do very specialized things in technology that we're after and that we really wanted to be able to create and create those offerings and those great innovations for our crowd. So innovation from scratch is always the longest, most time-consuming, but it always produces the very best results in the market from what we've seen. And the way that we innovate is incredibly resourceful. So we'll go in there and spend a tiny fraction on our innovations from what other big competitors will go out there and spend. And we'll often do a significantly better job than what we see out there in the marketplace. So innovating and doing it resourcefully and intelligently instead of just throwing money against the wall, that's really key to our philosophy and key to how we maintain our margins properly, how we maintain our profitability the right way successfully and at the levels that we want it to be. And that will always be key to our strategy going forward. How we jump in and scale as we move forward. This is built out a little bit. We'll continue to build this part out. There's a little bit more to it than this, but our core number one area that we go after really is direct to consumer. And our favorite way of doing that and scaling that is online. And as you can see on this slide, anywhere from shooting to tactical to military, law enforcement, hunting, auto racing, industrial, on and on and on, and so many more than what we could list here. We just have tremendous audiences online that we can go after and really, really target in a very meaningful way to interact with them and find out what their needs are and make those offerings and those innovations, accordingly, and to be able to have the reach that we have in today's world through technology and social platforms and digital platforms and online. That's just very significant, of course. Then we also do have good retail presence with some pretty top names out there, and we will continue to expand that into the areas where we already are, as well as new retail partners that we're talking with and starting to work with, and that we'll continue to seek out and build forward as we go. That's really our second area of retail. And then our third area is government, and really going out there and serving our military and also local government of law enforcement and things like that, and working with our federal agents and supporting government and our service people, professionals, every chance that we get. And we have some very meaningful relationships there. We believe that we can do a lot in creating a lot of market value and helping a lot of people in that process. So those are our three main areas where we have a lot of opportunity, that we really feel and believe that we have a lot of opportunity to continue to scale this company forward and take it to where we want to go. Coming down, just reiterating that of our approach to growth. We really focus heavily. You can see our growth curve here the last 3 years. That's largely getting our branding finalized up. It's really getting our original innovations for the new audiences done the right way, and our margins and everything done the right way, so that we could really come in online and start to reach those audiences. And we've been able to do that, manage the growth very well, which we will continue to manage the growth very well on the revenue, but really focus heavily on keeping the company very profitable and sustainable through its own cash flows of what we're doing. innovation to maximize profitability. That's an exciting part for us because we're doing well right now. We believe that we have really good performance coming through, that we will have good performance coming through the end of this year, going into next year on our current product line. But of course, every new product that we launch allows us to start branching into a lot more audiences. So the two main areas that we'll really be able to maximize on profitability with new innovations is, of course, adding on new products that we can offer out to our audience, but really being able to go after new audiences with the new products that we're coming into and starting to get into a lot more mainstream audiences and a lot bigger audiences than even what the audiences are that we've performed at this level that you can see on the charts the last 3 years. To expand globally, we already have good footprints over in England, Europe, throughout Africa, New Zealand, Australia, a little bit into Canada. We believe that we have really good opportunities to expand substantially in all of those areas, as well as to be able to go in and hit into new countries and to continue to expand our footprint around the globe. Some of the partnerships that we have and have had for some time, 6 Hours, one of them that really focuses heavily on serving our military and our law enforcement very well with its offerings. Other ones that we won't get into right now, other strategic, real world-class partnerships that we have coming that we hope to be able to announce here shortly. And that will be very key to our strategy also to help us enter new markets with the credibility of different market leaders in those different spaces and audiences that we go after. So that's a very exciting part of AXIL and the future. We believe that we can do really well with those partnerships and really build a lot of momentum in the market and also a really good shareholder value in what we're doing and how we're building the company forward. Disruptive technology. We really believe that what you're seeing right here is just the beginning of really building into great markets and audiences and being able to go a lot farther with the AXIL brand. And to really do this, everything that we've seen in the past is obviously very encouraging to us. We believe that we're in good position to perform well through the end of 2022 this year, in spite of challenging economic times of things going on that are focused on managing our growth properly and really focusing on that profitability is really helping us to navigate through some of the economic challenges that we're dealing with this year in 2022. And one last note on this that's incredibly encouraging to me and exciting to me, of course, is all of this, the numbers that you've seen of everything happening here, this really has happened with very little debt to almost no debt. We have no debt as a company now. We only took on very small amounts of short-term debt to really get us to the point of going through this. We don't really focus on burn rate and raising money just to go out there and stay alive. We really focus on building our fundamentals properly, keeping our margins right, keeping our focus on profitability the right way so that we can build a good long-term sustainable company on it. So to be able to get this type of growth, as well as we would encourage anybody who has interest on it to watch for our financials that come out at the end of this season. So middle of October 15th, is when we look to post our financials there, and people can go and see more information on exactly how 2022 is going for AXIL. And I'm going to bounce back just a touch. And make sure. So Basically, that's AXIL in a nutshell. We believe that we have a really special, unique opportunity to provide a lot of market value, as I've stated through this presentation, to really do a lot of good for people, here in the U.S. and as well as the rest of the world. And we're very excited to continue to innovate and serve and to hit those new audiences, and to really build the fundamentals and of the company right, and really build that long-term shareholder value in the company as well, and really come right back around to where we started of our mission, and that's really to become the world leader in all-in-one technologies to help people with anything that they have going on in their hearing, with their hearing and audio needs, for the different lifestyles, outdoor, active, aggressive lifestyles that people get into. So that's it for the presentation side of it, Anna. If I'm good with, there's any questions out there.
Wonderful. Thank you, Wes. Great presentation and such meaningful technology you have there. I have some hearing issues in my family, so we know how important it is. So let's jump into some questions from our attendees. You've had some impressive growth in the past 3 years. Talk to us about what rate of growth we can expect moving forward.
We believe, again, I've mentioned this a little bit before, but to go into a little bit more detail, we believe that we really have good momentum going through the rest of this year and into next year, largely off of our current existing line, as well as our new product line. And so we will continue to go aggressively after market share, but doing that so without disrupting our margin and earnings profile, right? So we will be focused more on going forward carefully on it than just scaling recklessly, obviously, right? And we'll watch that and build that forward. Our main focus, especially in these times of things that we're going through right now, will really be to focus on maintaining profitability and building out and improving that profitability. And we just believe that's the best way for us to build long-term shareholder value and really improve the fundamentals of the company the right way. And so we'll continue to build on that momentum that we have going for us, so far, and that we believe that we still have going forward, but we'll be managing things very carefully on the model that has proven out for us so far.
Great. Thank you for that. We have a few questions regarding your expertise. Talk a little bit more about your expertise and experience you have in the hearing industry.
Well, I appreciate your comment about things that you're running into in the family, into your own family, because we get that everywhere. Almost every family we run into is running into issues here, right? And we want to get way ahead of that. My experience, again, coming back around to the legacy of it, is I followed my father into it, who's almost 90 years old now, and he still goes down and runs his hearing clinic every day because he's so passionate about helping his clientele and a lot of his best friends hear better, right? And so I followed him into it, probably 28 years ago when I was about 23, and then I built out and started my own chain of hearing aid clinics and grew that out to about 60 hearing aid clinics. And I worked with some of the top pharmacies in the United States, building out programs for them, running clinics in some of their health centers and health clinics, and doing that for about 2 decades. I also started a company back in 2000 called Sportier that really brought the world's first all-digital hearing and protection lineup to the avid sportsman and outdoorsman. That taught me a lot about how to really innovate, how to brand, how to connect better, how to start streamlining technologies together into one to give multi-purpose and functionality for people to really help them prevent the hearing loss in the first place, but also improve their hearing loss. Excuse me. Also improve their hearing loss that they had with the same technology. That very quickly became known in the sporting good world as the leader in class, like best in class. And nobody was even a close second to us. We were so far ahead on technology and what we were doing, how we were serving people and helping people with that, and really helped a lot of individuals, a lot of marriages, a lot of families, to be able to help correct that. And so that's always pretty near and dear to me personally, that we've been able to have that type of role with marriages and families and individuals to get that. One other thing is during all of that time that's really helpful to us and where we are now and where we're going is I've been an FDA medical device hearing aid manufacturer for over 25 years. And so that's really taught me a lot on product development and manufacturing and how to go about things the right way. And so being able to go back and forth between my clientele one-on-one and then take that into the manufacturing and the product development phases and cycles has been a tremendous advantage to me and to the companies that I've run in the past. And now AXIL really combines the best of my experience with manufacturing and hearing aid clinics and sportier hearing protection and enhancement technology, and really brings that all fast forward into one big brand that can really go out there and hit many different audiences with this cutting edge technology and this different way of looking at innovation, which is a very different way of looking at innovation for the industries that we're in.
Well, that sure is real-time experience. It's also with my father, who is in his mid-80s, and he's suffered with hearing loss and difficulties for almost 20 years. And so I love your point about helping families and marriages. I am sure that it's helped a lot of marriages being able to hear each other. Anyway, back to growth. Let's talk about the future. Are you looking to make some acquisitions to grow revenues?
We love the idea of acquisitions, but we love the idea that we're sustainable on our own without acquisitions. That's a big deal to us. And so we're not looking at anything at this time. As things come about, we will consider those closely and evaluate those if they make sense for us or not. And if they do, we'll take advantage of those. But right now we have so much with our own current products and with new products that we have coming out. And if I gave you a peek inside of my personal innovation folder, you'd realize that anything but short on ideas and research and things that we want to bring, and that I and my innovation team really want to oversee that very closely to get it exactly the way that we want to. So first and foremost, we're passionate about our own ideas, our own research, our own customer interaction, really building that out the way that we want to. And then as we see acquisition opportunities along the way, we'll consider those accordingly.
Good place to be. Let's talk about next year. How many new products are you planning to launch? What
we're planning to launch, what we expect to launch is at least 2 very meaningful products. And we really hope that we push that up to 3 to 4. That, in my mind, sounds like a small number. And so the reason that I'll share with you next, to us, it's not the number of products that we're going to launch in that certain time frame. It's really more about really dialing in on making each innovation as perfectly crafted and designed and engineered to tailor to our customer as good as possible, and really give our customer the very best experience that we can. So we're huge on quality over quantity in our innovations. And I love some of the examples that have come out to the markets the last 10 years of people getting away of trying to develop hundreds of markets and really focusing on doing 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 right. And then those products absolutely explode in the market. That resonates huge with me. And that's what we'll be doing, is looking at every single product all the way along and saying, how can we go through and do the very best that we can? There's products that we look forward to launching next year that I've been working on for 16 to 20 years.
Wow.
And I've had to be very, very patient and wait for technology to come about. And we've had to really go out and develop and innovate that technology. And even times where we let other people pass us and go first to market, because our focus was not being first to market, our focus was being best to market. And two of the products that we'll be releasing next year that we really look forward to, and we expect fully to be able to release those next year, are, just to give a little teaser out there, those are the two products that I've wanted to bring to the market the most and the longest. And I've had to wait and be very patient for technology to catch up with my vision of where I wanted to go with it, how I wanted to take it forward. And we believe that we're very, very close to being able to bring those to the market in a very meaningful, powerful way.
Well, like you said, not wanting to be first, but the best. Let's talk about any convertible debt out there or plans to incur debt in the future.
We've never used convertible debt. I've always stayed away from it. I've always shunned it like the plague in my world and my mindset. One of the prizes for me of taking a company public and really growing a company to a bigger level has always been the motivation to really do it the right way and get the fundamentals of the business working the right way. And so much of what we've done here, we have bootstrapped, made mistakes on our own dime, run it very carefully, learn from those mistakes, tighten things up, accordingly, individually and as a team, a very good team that I have around me in AXIL. And so we haven't gone to convertible debt. All we've done is taken on small amounts of short-term debt that we paid off at the first chance that we could. And we really don't look to, we don't see any need that we'll be moving to convertible debt. We will really continue to focus heavily on improving our fundamentals, tightening the ship, increasing margins, increasing product offerings, innovations to really drive a long-term sustainable, profitable company. That's where I get excited about waking up every morning, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So
that's a great place to be, Wes. It really is. So do you have any closing remarks for us? Thank you so much for this fantastic presentation.
No, we, again, we come out with Reviv will post its next quarter's numbers. Our financial quarter, first quarter begins June 1st, which means we'll be posting our first quarter numbers for Reviv, which will include AXIL and its numbers consolidated into Reviv on October 15th. After that, there's additional things happening between now and then on the business itself, plus being able to get out there and get the numbers out there so that we can talk more openly about how 2022 is going. We would love to have the opportunity to come back and visit with you again after that and share some of the highlights that are coming that we can't get into right now.
Well, great. Let's plan for that. Thank you again so much. And we look forward to you coming back and giving us some updates.
That's great. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate the time and opportunity.
All right. Thank you, Wes, so much. And thank you all for watching. We're going to transition to our next presenter, and we'll be right back.